I've never noticed them looking particularly decrepit. Why?
Ours always look torn up.
Really?
I think there's a reason for that.
Welcome to Off the Cut.
Dude, I haven't touched any wood in a long time.
I don't care how long it is.
Or you're trying to make eye contact with the person.
Maybe you're looking at it from the wrong angle.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad we got the explicit out of the way early.
If I'm going to put money into this, it's going to be great. And I guarantee it.
Get it?
Woo!
That was a good one. And
I don't have a can to crack, but...
Oh, Deric's got one too. Deric, that sounds like a tall... It is a tall boy liquid death.
Is that more than a normal tall boy? That looks extra large.
That's
Was it
19.2 ounces.
I think that's bigger than a normal one.
How many people do you think, like when we crack these cans, just think, man, these guys are ripping beers all episode.
These guys are complete degenerate alcoholics. Probably most people, I'd like to think.
Yeah. But it's seltzer water, you know.
Yeah.
We're not doing another top 5 drill videos.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Well, anyway, without further ado, welcome to Off the Cut episode 164 for Tuesday, May 13th, 2025. And KM Tools does not sell seltzer water, but...
I'm telling you, that's $1 million business idea. You have a sawdust flavor, you have a wood glue flavor, you even have like a table saw coating flavor.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, a Rubio monocoat flavor too.
Oh man.
I'm telling.
All right,
Jonathan, send me an email. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll talk.
I'll have my people talk to your people.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so
anyway,
what should we talk about today with the Cat's Moses tool? Should we talk about the French cleat wall? Should we talk about the bourbon blade?
I mean, there's so much to talk about.
There's so much to talk about because literally everything in his store, kmtools.com, by the way, is either made by Jonathan himself or his team or somebody he's partnered with, like another creator like, Jason Hibbs or Michael Alm.
Yeah, the list goes on and on.
Yeah, it's just... Yeah.
Well, really, it's because everything is for woodworkers and by woodworkers. I mean, it's as simple as that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was in the big box store a couple weeks ago, and there was a guy asking, one of the employees there for a little help, and he asked him, well, who makes this tool? And the guy couldn't tell him. He's like, I don't know. It's made by this manufacturer, and I don't know where it's made or anything. And he said, well, if you don't know, if it's not made by woodworkers for woodworkers, I don't want anything to do with it. And I told him to go check out Cat Moses, and he walked out happy.
Oh, I like that. I like that. See? You're doing the Lord's work.
That's right.
Ooh, you know what we should do? We should secret shop kmtools.com one day. We should send some emails, just some completely asinine emails, and see how they respond.
Oh.
Be like, I was trying to use the bourbon blade to jack up my truck the other day, and the ink failed on it.
I took the bourbon blade to an axe throwing competition. And it
came in third
in the wooden. I got third. Yeah, you guys need to step it up. But one of the other things that kmtools.com does is they donate a portion of all of their sales directly towards the Cat's Moses Woodworkers with Disabilities Fund, which gets tools and resources into the hands of folks who need it most.
That's right.
Ooh.
Including our patrons, right? With the $50 gift card every single month that we give away to one of our patrons. And I believe, Eric, you have a little bit of news on that front.
I do have some news.
What happened?
So, like Zach said, every single month we give away a $50 gift card to kmtools.com. Go over to patreon.com/offthecutpodcast. Sign up for any tier. Unlock the bonus after show that we do every week. Or maybe even... sign up for the top tier where we're going to do the BYOC call, which basically is bring your own camera. And you get to join us, do video chat with all the other patrons. We talk about anything you want for a while. Have a good time. That's next. Oh, that's next week, by the way. Yeah. Right, Deric?
Ooh,
that's right. Next week.
Patrons,
next week.
Ready. Get your cameras ready.
Get them ready. But last week, the first episode of the month, every month we give away that gift card, and our friend Gary Furness one last week. So I got Gary in contacted with Mark and Jonathan over at Camp Tools, and Gary is like, listen, guys, I live in the UK, so importing stuff is like bananas expensive, right? So he goes, can you just redraw a gift to somebody else? So Gary, your wish is our command.
What a nice guy. What a stand-up person, A lot of people would have just taken the gift card, pocketed it, put it away for a rainy day. Like maybe he's going to order something later, use it as a discount. But he was like, pass it on to somebody who'll get more use out of it. I really appreciate it. Thank you, Gary.
You know what I was hoping for?
What?
As I was like, how cool would it be if Jonathan was like, hold my beer, Gary. Here's a $500 gift card.
That would have been pretty cool, but also very expensive for Jonathan. So
right, and Gary still would have had to pay all the import fees and stuff on $500 worth of product versus $50, which actually costs him more money, right?
I wonder how that works, because a lot of those import fees you don't even pay until they show up at your door. So even if he gave him $1,000 gift card, he still might get stuck with like $400 or $500 worth of import fees when he goes to receive the product.
So I'm curious about this, because as somebody who lives in the U.S., I would say 99.9% of what I buy is from the U.S. There are the occasional, you find like a little one-off thing that's like made in Australia or made in the U.K. that you get or whatever. Zach, as somebody who lives in Canada, you probably pay import fees on a regular basis. Like, 100%. What does that look like? Or how does that process work?
It's a mystery. It's a complete mystery to every single party involved. The shipping companies don't know how it works. The sellers don't know how it works. And the receivers definitely don't know how it works. It is such a surprise. Anytime I order things, so I will say, I think the only one that's actually got it worked out is Amazon.com. If I order from the American Amazon, they give me a little thing that says, here's the price of the item, here's what shipping costs, and then here's what you're going to pay in import fees.
Okay.
And it's actually broken out. The vast majority of the time, anybody else I order from, sometimes they'll charge me a shipping fee, and sometimes that will include a brokerage fee, but then I'll still get hit with extra fees at the door when it arrives.
So like the parcel delivery person shows up, knocks on your door. They're like, hey, Zach, I got a delivery for you.
Yeah.
By the way, you owe me $48.
Exactly.
Like, is that how that works?
100%. Yeah. And you have to find your credit card. They have a little like handheld iPad tablet thing, they scan your card, you sign it.
Man.
Yeah. It's a regular occurrence for me. This is like, unless I'm ordering from a website that ends in .ca, then that's basically guaranteed to happen. Now, sometimes the import fee is equal to the cost of the item itself. Speaker parts are notoriously bad for this. I've ordered like $400 worth of speaker parts and ended up paying $400 in shipping, brokerage. Yeah, it's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's really annoying.
So let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's, people who know you. No, there's no surprise. You're sponsored by Bamboo, right? You got some Bamboo printers and stuff.
Right behind me.
When these things from brands and stuff show up, do you have to pay import stuff on that?
Sometimes. And that's always an awkward conversation too, because I'm trying to think, once I got a jointer in the mail. I got the jointer. They're doing like sponsor post, all this stuff, but the jointer shows up and I had like a $300, $400 fee. And it's like, sometimes they'll just eat it because you don't want to like go to the company that's sponsoring you and be like, hey, by the way, like it showed up. It's a little bit of an awkward conversation. You're going to need to give me more money, by the way, is essentially what you had to say to them.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's $300-$400, which is not an insignificant amount of money. And I had to go with my hat in my hands and be like, unfortunately, you're going to have to cough up a few bucks because this thing ended up costing me when it arrived.
That's wild. Deric, you're probably in the same boat as me, right? You've never really run across the import stuff much.
No, never. I mean, although I've bought things from, I don't know, like I guess on TikTok Shop or Instagram or whatever, and it ends up being shipped over from China.
Yeah.
But I've never paid an import fee on any of that stuff.
Yeah, I feel like the China stuff is somehow not as bad. I don't know if they're like, skirting the rules or something. Sometimes you get stuff from China that's like just wrapped up in an envelope.
Yeah, although I heard that like if it's under a certain size and weight, there is no import fee on them. In certain items.
Interesting.
Because I've definitely got like a bunch of just like, bottom of the barrel crap from like AliExpress.
Yeah. Try out a new bid or something like that.
Yeah, it takes 6 months to show up.
Rarely I will pay import fees on that type of stuff. It's usually bigger stuff. And here's another crazy thing that you guys never have to deal with. You know how when you go to check out on something, there's different tiers of shipping? There's, there's like the economy, there's the express, there's the overnight express. Depending on which one you select, sometimes those import fees are built into the shipping cost.
Oh.
But the shipping companies, UPS and FedEx especially, do not tell you which covers the import fees. So sometimes it can be something crazy where like upgrading from economy to express, which will be like $15 or something like that, that might save you $200 in import fees for whatever reason. But they don't tell you on their website. It's like hidden in PDFs buried deep inside the website to figure out which one includes brokerage fees and all this stuff.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. If you would buy something from my website, I got no damn idea.
Yeah,
true. And I don't blame the shipper usually, but it's the fact that you can't even go on FedEx's website and say like, hey, what services come with the express versus the economy?
Right.
We live in the digital technology and like everything. There's so much information out there. How come this can't be figured out? That's what baffles me.
I think it's one of those things where they don't really want you to be able to figure it out. They probably make a nice little mint off of people choosing the economy option and then getting screwed when they go to receive their product.
So much money is made off of not having information.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The lack of information. Yeah. The other thing that blows my mind about shipping is like, you go on buy, I don't know, a pair of shoes, whatever. Economy shipping is like 10, 15 bucks. Mm-hmm. Express is like 35. And then overnight, or like the next day air, or whatever the hell it is like $140.
You're like, who needs these shoes that badly?
Who's running it over by hand?
Right. But most of the time, like the economy one says like 1 to 2 business days. Right. And next day air says 1 business day.
I know.
The thing is, you still, that's once they like print the label out, slap it on there, and the carrier picks it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you're actually getting it faster by paying $100 and something for next day air.
I actually had this experience, and maybe we'll talk about this a little bit more later. One of my 3D printers broke, and I ordered a part for it. Sure. If the part is $5.
Mm-hmm.
So not a big deal. And I ordered it from a Canadian company, so luckily I didn't have to deal with any of these import stuff, but I still had to pick the shipping tier that I wanted.
Sure.
And it was a very similar situation. It was like the basic one was 1 to 2 days, and then the express one was 1 day. And I was like, and the cost difference was huge. It was, I think, $12. Very annoying paying $12 shipping on a $5 part, but what are you going to do? And then the express was like $45. I did the cheapest one, and I actually ended up getting it the part the next day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the biggest factor is how quickly the merchant processes your order and gets it in the mail.
I agree. Yeah,
right?
I think so. I think the carriers have this stuff pretty well streamlined at this point, but I have found that a lot of times, like especially ordering stuff off eBay, somebody will mark something as shipped, but you can see, they give you a tracking number. They just created the label. They didn't actually drop it off or have it picked up yet. Right?
Yeah. Or like for me, notified. Go ahead, sir, Deric. Sorry.
Oh, I was just saying, that one kind of bugs me because I'll get notified and then I'm like, "Oh, it's coming," and then I look at it and I'm like, "Oh, they printed the label. I'm still waiting."
Yeah, that label printing thing is especially annoying.
Yeah, so like that's how it is for me on my Shopify store. Somebody puts in an order, as soon as I click like the buy the shipping label and print it out button, it sends the customer an email, says like your item's been shipped. Well, if I did it on a Saturday, and it's the post office is already closed or whatever, I can't take it on Sunday. I got to wait till Monday morning. But so I've even got people be like, hey, I saw it said it's shipped, but the tracking hasn't been updated yet. It's like, yeah, because the post office doesn't have it yet. You know what I mean?
Let me ask you this. As a shipper, do you ever take that into account? Like, say you get an order on a Friday, do you avoid printing out the label until Monday so that the person doesn't get false expectations?
I've considered it.
Yeah.
But the other thing is, on Shopify, it gives you like statistics, and I don't know if it hurts you, but like basically your order received to fulfillment time.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm getting raked over the coals by Etsy right now. They keep sending me alerts like your response rate isn't high enough to.
Who cares?
I know, but the thing is, I'm not responding to. It's not like I'm. Well, there's probably there may be one or two actual ones I haven't responded to, but most of them are spam emails. Or like spam, like scam emails trying to like get me to send my credit card information or something like that. And on Etsy, you're punished for not responding to these stupid spam emails. It's so annoying.
What do you have on Etsy?
My 3D print files.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's the same if somebody asks a question, then you respond and they respond with okay.
Right.
You then have to respond to their okay.
Yeah, you have to have the last word at all times. It's like you're having a very petulant argument with your spouse.
This is where I find emojis to be handy. You just throw one out there. Like whenever I get comments, on like videos that make no sense or they're just like spiteful or mean comments, I'll just throw an emoji on there and call it a day.
A mermaid and an orange, perhaps.
Right.
Have fun trying to decode that.
Or if it's a friend, just like I know that's just commenting to, be helpful or whatever, I'll just throw them an emoji.
Yeah.
Oh, Gary replied in the chat here. He said import fees from the US to the UK is if you're shipping about half kilogram, so about 1 to
3 pounds.
1 to 3 pounds, it's $50.
Oh, then it's flat fee.
Flat fee. Import fee is 12% on the value of the item. Then there's a 20% value added tax added to the total price.
Oh,
damn! Jesus!
Wow.
Who's eating all this stuff? Like, who's this value added tax going to?
Wow.
It
goes into the endless slush fund that is the government.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a conspiracy right here.
Yeah.
But anyway, that 20-minute diatribe leads us back to the fact that we have to redraw the winner.
Yes.
For this month's $50 KM Tools gift card. So I'm going to do it once.
I like it. Just ready? One clean.
Chris Babick.
Nice.
You are the winner. Chris sends in Aftershow questions all the time.
I know. Yeah. I was going to say we've said his name definitely a lot on the show. Has he won before? I wonder.
Not in my list of winners.
Okay. All right. Well, hell yeah, Chris.
Hell yeah, brother. Chris, we will get you connected with Jonathan and Mark, and they will facilitate that $50 gift card for you. Enjoy. Hopefully you don't have value-added tax.
Yeah. Hopefully you're in the U.S. and it's easy.
Yeah, Chris Babick gift card. Done. On my list, Chris, I will send that out tomorrow. Not tonight.
All right. Can we return to a topic of discussion a second ago? You said that I was sponsored by Bamboo, and that is true. And I just want to take a second to talk about why I am always so happy to take sponsorships from brands where I really like the product.
Yeah.
Because my Bamboo H2D back there is just slightly not big enough for something that I'm working on right now. So I've been using my Creality printer for the last 3 or 4 days to print really big things.
Sure.
Whoa.
And the amount of problems I have had with this stupid printer is every single print, something goes wrong on it. I've had to field strip every single part of it, like at least once a day. But honestly, it's like 2 or 3 times a day lately. I'm opening it up. I'm blowing out little bits of filament. I'm cleaning sensors with alcohol. I'm replacing Bowden tubes. It's
just a headache.
Yeah, the little Bowden tube where it goes into the top of the extruder, that somehow decided to self-destruct. And the way those, you know how so for people who don't know, the Bowden tube is like this white tube that runs filament from basically into the 3D printer, right? And they have all these one-way fittings where you can put the tube in easily, and then if you want to release it, you have to press down the collar. It's kind of like a shark bite fitting for plumbing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what that is. One of those fittings decided to self-destruct, and the way it works is it has little metal teeth inside of it that grip the tube. Those little metal teeth just popped out somehow.
Dude, I had the same thing happen on my Creality printer.
And then got forced through the system and got embedded in the extruder, the nozzle, the gears. Wow. And I'm like, oh my God, this must be a freak occurrence. And I go on the forums, and of course, this is like a common known thing. And there's a bunch of like files you can print to like kind of prevent it from happening and ease some of the tension on the part to make it easier.
Shouldn't have to.
But I mean, you know, like if you're out there and you're using a bamboo printer as your like main primary 3D printer, it might not be perfect, but it is by far the most user-friendly platform out there for 3D printing.
So do you think your Creality was just sitting too long, or
maybe that is definitely a factor, because it did definitely like sit for a month. But dude, I don't know.
That's no different than sitting on a store shelf or something.
I know, right? That's what I'm thinking. Like the parts shouldn't expire. It's like metal and plastic. It's.
You guys remember last year when I was trying to have you guys help me troubleshoot my issues with my Creality?
Yeah.
No matter what settings I would change. Zach, you even literally sent me like a 3MF file that had the exact settings. You're like, I know this works.
Yeah.
You sent it to me. When you would print anything with supports, the supports would be literally fused onto the print. Like I could take pliers and I couldn't get them apart.
That's wild.
And I never got it situated. As a matter of fact, I actually gave that printer to one of my buddies, and I never asked him
how it's going.
I'm gonna see him this weekend. I
suck at 3D printing.
Well, it can kind of drive you crazy because, like 3D printing, there are so many different variables with it, right? So it's hard to know sometimes. Like, is it something I'm doing wrong? Is it something the machine's doing wrong? So it can kind of drive you up the wall trying to chase down these problems. I've replaced now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts in this. No, more than that. 6, 7 parts in this printer.
It just makes you want to kick it out the door, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's the only printer that's this size on the market. Well, it's not. There are bigger ones out there, but it's like the most complete. I assume those ones are even less user friendly than this one is. This is like the biggest complete package, kind of without going all the way into like pro
or
3D
fully
printers. Yeah,
handmade or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to get one of those giant, like the Elegoo thing that's like a 3 foot by 3 foot by 3 foot.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like this. Yeah, that's why I stopped myself and said that there are bigger ones out there, but this is like one of the bigger prosumer level ones.
I can't imagine that's terribly accurate.
Nah, I think when you're printing 3 foot by 3 foot, you kind of accept a little bit more variation, and things aren't going to be. You're printing tables instead of printing like little miniature parts at that point.
That's fair.
Or car parts.
Hey, I forgot to announce this earlier. We've got a new patron.
That
just joined.
Yeah,
new patron, $10.
I was trying to figure out if that was some version of Dadu, but yeah, $10.
This one had me stumped for a while.
Is this Dadu's Mexican cousin?
I don't know. English. Since if I do Portuguese to English, it comes up with Spanish tent.
Spanish, okay.
Spanish tent, okay.
Well, either way, $10. Thank you for becoming a patron. You now get the after show, not only this week, but every single week, all 160 64 after shows, including the infamous one where Zach got too drunk and he couldn't make it a YouTube video. It's on there.
It's all on there. I wonder how many people have watched that. I should go and look at the little view count for it.
Look at the Patreon insights.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good discussion though that we had.
It was fun. Episode. It was fun. It's just, like if I could have just cut out the last 10 minutes or so.
Slurring our words a little bit, but
so we gotta do something. We gotta think of another one to do kind of like that and do that again.
Yeah, that'd be fun. We should do some little games and stuff like that on the podcast. I think that'd be a good time.
I'm in for that. There'd be some good healthy arguments, healthy debates.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, let's start one right now.
Okay.
All right.
I don't know. All right. Okay. Okay. Rate the stores as in maybe your tier list thing.
Big box stores like Lowe's, Home Depot.
Yeah. Okay. Lowe's, Home Depot. You don't have Menards, right?
No. This is going to be tough because most of them I'm going to have to say I don't have here.
Okay. Lowe's and Home Depot.
I have Lee Valley.
Ace Hardware.
Do you have Lee Valley?
Yeah, we got Lee Valleys. I've never been to one.
Yeah. I'm not nearly fancy enough for those.
Woodcraft.
You got Woodcraft in Canada, right?
I don't think so.
What about Rockler?
Yeah.
Nope. Oh, there is a Woodcraft, or is this a business? This is just a business that's called Woodcraft.
And your Canadian Tire is not similar enough to Harbor Freight.
No, we have one that's called Princess Auto. That's like Harbor Freight.
Yeah. Okay. Lowe's, Home Depot, Princess Auto / Harbor Freight.
Okay.
Do you have Ace? Yeah, Deric asked, do you have Ace Hardware?
No Ace.
Do it best.
Yeah, we have Home Hardware. Home Hardware is kind of sounds similar. I've never
True
been to
Value?
No.
True Value, yeah, same thing.
No.
Okay, well, let's just call it this way.
The three.
I genuinely think it's just Home Depot and Lowe's.
Home Depot, Lowe's. Then we're going to call it like a hardware store, which would be like the place where you go, they have the old men. They can help you find any nut and bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A hardware
Why is it
store.
always old guys? I wonder.
Hey, somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, true.
Home Depot, Lowe's, a hardware store, a
traditional hardware store.
Yeah, like a traditional hardware store. And
discount importer, like your Harbor Freight and all that.
Yeah. Okay, then like a Harbor Freight, Princess Auto. Those four options. Where do you rank them, and which store would you want to go? Which store would you want to be the closest to your house for convenience because you're going to go to it most often?
Oh.
See, I feel like all four of them have specific
but if you had to pick just one
needs.
If you just had to pick one.
But if I had to have just one of them near me, it's going to be the Lowe's.
Okay.
But my wife and I have this discussion all the time because we have Lowe's and Home Depot, and they're almost always side by side or across the street from each other.
Yeah, I don't know why they do
pretty close to one another. And we find, at least here, and then we also find with talking to other people that it's different up north or out east or west. But we find that the Lowe's is great if you want to go and find something decorative or nice, something that looks good for your home. But if you want something that functions and just down and dirty, you want some 2x4s, you go to Lowe's or you go to Home Depot for that.
Okay. Yeah.
And you get what you need to get the job done type of stuff.
Yeah.
But you're not going there for your lawn furniture or anything you want that's decorative or aesthetically pleasing.
I've kind of noticed similar. For me, Lowe's around here has, like you said, more like patio furniture or more like better shower heads or better tile options
textures
or better flooring options.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you're looking for like a
trim,
like a part or a piece or like a component of something, Home Depot all day.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Zach?
I would do Home Depot.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why. Here in Canada, Lowe's rolled out a little bit weird. They bought a bunch of smaller stores. So what you have sometimes is something branded as a Lowe's, but is maybe closer to your traditional old hardware store.
Oh, like they're
interesting.
like mom and pop, like franchisees.
Yeah, they took down like mom and pop's hardware, and then they put up a Lowe's sign, and they changed the paint, and they called it a day. So you have that sometimes. So what I find is that Lowe's, some of them are great, but some of them are also pretty horrible.
Okay.
And so the Home Depots are much more consistent in terms of what you can find there.
Like, you know what to expect. It's always like,
Exactly.
oh, I know that if I go to the center of the store, that's where I'm going to find the drills, the driver bits. Like, you already almost like have a mental map of what the aisles are.
Doesn't matter which Home Depot it is, I can go into it and navigate my way around. That's not always true with Lowe's.
Yeah.
And but you're right. Some of the like, if I was going to go out to buy like patio furniture or something like that, I would go to a Lowe's over a Home Depot.
Oh,
But
yeah.
generally speaking, Home Depots have better garden centers.
Yes.
So if I'm
Okay,
going for
yeah.
some plants or something like that, then I would go to Home Depot. So for that reason, I'm going to say Home Depot.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if I need a tool that I'm going to beat up and I know that I don't want to care about,
Yeah.
that's when I go to Harbor Freight.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I appreciate about Harbor Freight too is that they have these weird brands that are like almost house brands that are knockoffs of like very high-end tools, but
Yeah.
actually kind of good.
Yeah.
So I'll give you an example. I bought a jack for my car. One of these, like, one of the ones you like roll under. It's a pump jack. You like roll it under. You can lift up your car really easily. It's a knockoff of a Snap-on jack that's like $800.
Sure.
I got it for $220, and it's good. Like, has basically all the same functionality. It's a little rougher around the edges than the Snap-on one, but it's still pretty dang good.
But like, I feel like that is the perfect thing for someone like you. Okay, like, dude, how often do you really jack your car up? Like, not
Twice a year.
often. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. You put the winter tires on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Put the winters on, put them off.
Now, if you were running a car shop where you were jacking up multiple cars every day, no, the Harbor Freight one's probably not appropriate for you.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Then you spend the money on the Snap-on one. But
Yeah.
like as a weekend warrior, hell yeah.
Or like if I'm doing something where I know I'm just gonna trash this thing, right?
Yeah.
And not like for negligence, but just like this is gonna get real beat up. Like,
Sure. Well, one time I bought a circular saw to cut through a roof that had tar paper over it.
exactly.
Or like not tar paper, like a tar membrane.
It's gonna be kicking up that stuff and just be caked with tar.
So
and
I
stuff.
bought a circular saw from Princess Auto Harbor Freight, used it to cut up this roof, and then it was so trashed at the end of it that I just threw it out.
You return it.
No, nobody would have taken that thing back.
Harbor
There's
Freight
no
would
way.
have.
It was like caked solid with tar.
Has this been used? Nah, it came like this.
It came like that. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad absolutely hated Lowe's, but only because in his town, he was a supply manager for the hardware store that was there in town. It was a lumber yard, but it was also the only hardware store there in town. And then a Lowe's got opened up at the end of town and kind of like took the everyday business away from them. So he kind of hated Lowe's for that. But no other reason. Like, they weren't bad or anything like that. But so whenever I say I'm going to Lowe's, it always kind of irked him a little bit.
Right. On one hand, I feel bad for some of these mom and pop, especially the lumber yards and stuff like that, where they have like these big businesses. But then sometimes you go to them and you're reminded why you instinctively, if you're like, I need some 2x4s, you don't go to the mom and pop one, you go to the Lowe's or the Home Depot.
Because you can get in, get out, the stuff is there, you just grab it and go. Versus a mom and pop place, you might have to like call ahead. And when you get there, you got to find somebody. And then it's like, hold on, let me get somebody to get that for you. And you're like,
you have to establish a relationship with the mom and pops. Whereas with Lowe's and Home Depot, it's a universal language. You come in, you know what you need. They know how to get it to you. Yeah. And it's just set up for that. But yeah, the mom and pops, they're more about like establishing relationships and doing business over long term. They're not so much concerned with you coming in and buying a screw.
Yeah.
Like often they'll give you the screw if you're just looking for a screw because they know you're going to come back and do business later.
Right.
There was this mom and pop lumber yard that I used to go to when I was building houses, and I would avoid it whenever possible because their setup was you go in through the front door, you take a number, you get the number, they call you up to the front desk. If you're lucky, a lot of the time it was honestly the person would just, if you made eye contact with somebody behind the counter, they would just serve you instead of honoring the number system. You tell the person behind the counter what you wanted. They would ring you up an order sheet. You would then go to a different cashier. You would pay there. Then you would go back to your truck or your car in the parking lot. You would then drive through like a serpentine section, and you would have to find somebody in there to give the piece of paper to. They would find the stuff and bring it to you, and then you would load it into your thing. God. Wait. There's another step. Then you would go to the exit gate where they had somebody who would take the slip from you, inspect it, and make sure that you weren't taking more than you were supposed to. And only then could you leave.
Man.
I get it, but I'm out.
And it's like when you need 10 2x4s and you have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different checkpoints. You have to talk to 6 different people in order to do it, or you can
trip.
Or you go to the Home Depot, you pull up to the loading dock, you run in, you grab your 2x4s, you pay at the cash, and you're out.
That's right.
So,
yeah, time is money. Like you got to get back on the job. You got to get back to work. You can't be standing around with all this rigmarole.
Yeah. So it's I always found it funny that like this was 2020. I'm sure it's still operating that way today. It was 2023, 2024 when I was there, but I'm sure it's exactly
anything. It's ridiculous.
My final verdict on this matter is distance closest to furthest.
Mm-hmm.
I want Home Depot to be closest.
Mm-hmm.
I want Harbor Freight to be second.
Agree.
I want Lowe's to be third, and then like the hardware store fourth.
Yeah,
because I go to the hardware store to get like this one special metric bolt or whatever so infrequently that if that's the furthest one away, whatever. I
actually had something recently. My dog chewed the end off of a cord for a compressor. And I was like, and I was about to use the compressor and I found it. And I was like, damn it, I don't want to drive all the way to Home Depot. You know how they sell those replacement like cords? It's like the end of the cord that you
little like compression fitting thing.
Yeah, basically you can like cut the end off a damaged cord, slot this new one in, tighten a couple screws. And so I was like, I don't want to drive all the way to Home Depot, which is 15, 20 minutes away.
Sure.
And then I remembered, I was like, there's a little mom and pop hardware store around the corner from me. So I went there and they actually had one in stock, luckily. So I was able to fix it in like 5 minutes as opposed to an hour round trip.
Huh.
Do you guys ever like go to these mom and pop hardware stores and you're like, I need this part or whatever, and they always hit you with, well, we don't have it, but we can order it. It's like, I can order it way faster than you can.
I have Amazon too.
Yeah. If you don't have it in stock, I'm out. Like the whole reason I'm going to a physical store is because I want it right now, not a week. Because if I wanted a week from now, I would order it.
Right. I've tried to be like, shop local, all that, and we have like a local stationery store and like other things like that. And I'll go in and I'll look for something just to like, keep the local economy going, keep small business going. And I'll go in there to look for something, whatever it is, like a pen or a box of screws or whatever. And I'll look at it and I'll see the price and I'm like, I know that if I just go across the street to Home Depot or to Target or Walmart or whatever, it's gonna be like 75% of the cost. Like this is marked up so much.
For sure.
I
feel bad.
Yeah. Or it's that local mom and pop place isn't buying the volume that the other stores are. So they actually, the mom and pop might be putting less markup on it.
Yeah.
As far as like a percentage goes.
Right. But they're just not getting the volume discount on the buying side. Yeah, I mean, I'm sympathetic. And you know, when you're moving a lot of volume, you can afford to have thinner margins.
Sure.
But that it becomes a chicken and egg thing where if you're then not, you know, in order to move a lot of volume, you have to decrease your margins. And I feel like a lot of these places are afraid to do that because they don't have as much foot traffic as like a Home Depot or something like that.
Yeah.
So they're relying on the person who really needs that thing at that moment, and they're willing to pay more for it, even though they know they could get it cheaper at a Home Depot or something like that. So,
but do you have frustrations in both ends, right? So like on one hand, you have like a mom and pop store, right? That you go in and you get really good service and whatnot. But at the other hand, you go to the mom and pop store, like the lumber place you were talking to, and you're like, that was painful to go through, right?
Yeah.
But you have the exact same thing at the big box store.
Well, big box store, good luck finding anybody who's willing to help you.
Oh, yeah.
I swear they hide from customers. The amount of times I've needed something that's like up on a high shelf or something like that, I'll look around for a person. I'll just go steal one of their ladder things and go up and get it myself a lot of the time.
Right. It's so frustrating. But I mean, like, I'm going to be honest with you. When I worked retail, once it stopped being commission based, you couldn't find me anywhere, man.
I know. I get it. And I mean, look, the mom and pop shops, they have good customer service because usually they have a financial incentive to sell more product. They want it, you know, it's their business, or it's like the kid of the owner or something like that. It's the cash register, the person running the cash register. Whereas at Home Depot and stuff like that, it's some minimum wage employee. And look, they're just trying to get through the day. They're not getting, whether they sell $1 million worth of lumber or $10, they're still going to get paid the same. So they don't care.
I find that the small businesses that do the best are the ones like content creators that niche down to something a little more specific and don't try and carry everything.
Yeah.
Like I had this woodworking store that was near us that they would sell lumber, they would sell plywood. But then they had this whole like retail thing in the front where they had like machines that looked like they'd been there for 10 years, were like rusting and stuff. I'm like, why do you have this stuff? Like who's buying this planer or jointer table saw from you?
Yeah.
Or like, even if they are, why do you have this like floor unit that just looks like hell?
I know. Well, I think, again, it's, you know, they're small businesses, right? Like it's a lot to keep on top of, you know, you do inventory, you do, you know, accounting, you do payroll, you do all these things as a small business owner. You don't have time sometimes at the end of the day to be like, I should really refresh the decor, you know, like play around with the layout of our thing. It's like, I worked for the last 30 years. I'll just keep on going.
Question for you guys. Have you ever been to a Lowe's or a Home Depot where the tools that are like out on display look like they're within 2 to 3 years old, or they always look way older than that?
The ones like the sample ones that you can actually like pick up and
they're on the little like cord and stuff.
Yeah, they're on the cord so you can't steal. I don't know. I've never actually paid attention. I've never noticed them looking particularly decrepit. Why?
Ours always look torn up.
Really?
Well, I think there's a reason for that. Whenever they first pull them out of the box, before they put them up on the shelf, the employees play hockey with them for a little bit first.
so Deric, you've noticed the exact same thing, that the tools just
they look like
destroyed.
Yeah.
Really?
And they've always got like the cord cut off on the end, and like an empty battery pack that's been screwed into the bottom of it, and like all this other stuff.
Or it'll be like, you know, missing levers, or like it'll be a DeWalt tool and it looks like it's like a banana yellow. You're like, how long has this been out here?
I'm going to say next time I'm at a Home Depot, I'm going to pay closer attention to the tools and see if it's like that.
I also think sometimes like the tool companies will send them out display units that are non-functioning and don't necessarily have everything within it. Or all the pieces like sticking off of it, they could easily be broken off or taken. I
wonder if they use like customer returns as display.
Could be that too.
Somebody comes in and they're like, "Hey, this drill's broken." Maybe they throw it up on the display rack.
Yeah, or a model that was on the line and it didn't pass quality inspection. Maybe.
Yeah, true.
I've noticed sometimes where like I remember when I first started buying tools and stuff. I like went to the store and was like trying them all, and I ended up getting like a Ryobi combo kit or whatever.
Oh yeah, the 14-piece toolkit where
it came with
three of the
flashlight in
tools
the
are
bag.
flashlights.
Yeah, in the bag too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The bag. What's the
Bags
other
get you the
crappy
bag.
tool that comes in those combo kits that no one uses?
Yeah, what is it?
I'll
A
look one up.
flashlight, a
It's-
bag. There's something else usually.
You're right, there is. I can't think of it for the life of me.
As
Usually
soon as- people are probably listening at home and be like, it's this. It's
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
I don't know.
Usually they'll come with the world's cheapest oscillating multi-tool as well.
Yeah.
But I
Or
don't
like
know.
2
There's
drills.
2 drills, yeah. Well, it's usually like an impact and a drill sometimes.
Yeah.
You usually get
Not
that
much
really
of it.
crappy cordless sander too.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
You know
little pointed one.
Yes. Yeah, maybe
The
that's
mouse
Mouser.
sander.
Yeah.
I was thinking the other day, so I have a bunch of Craftsman tools that I keep at home.
Yeah.
And I also have a bunch of DeWalt tools that I have in the shop. And I was like, it'd be really nice if I just had one brand for everything. So I was like, maybe I'll get DeWalt tools for home. And so but I was like, but I need a bunch of stuff. So I went and I was like, I was trying to see if they had like a high-end 14-piece toolkit. Because the 14-piece toolkit always has the worst version. It has like the cheapest circular saw. It has the cheapest impact gun. So I was like, do they have like a high-end one where it comes with the good tools?
Nope.
They don't. And that's a problem. That is because I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just it'll be like $600 or whatever, but at least
The
I'll get like
contractor kit.
yeah, like I'll get like their nicest circular saw. I'll get the nice reciprocating saw. I'll get the nice impact, etc., etc. You can't do it. You have to buy all those tools individually.
It's a pain in the ass, man.
All right.
Yeah.
The Ryobi 12-piece combo kit. You want to know what comes in it?
Yes,
Hit me.
please.
You've got the 2 drills, the impact and the other one, the standard drill. Then
Yeah.
you have the flashlight. Then
Hell
you've
yeah.
got the orbital sander.
Yes. Okay.
And,
Cordless.
Yeah, that's all
Yeah,
cordless.
throw that
all
away.
cordless. Charger. Then you've got a reciprocating saw. Then you've got your circular saw. Then you've got a brad nailer,
Oh,
oscillating
wow. Really?
tool, multi-tool, another drill. This
Is this like a hammer drill?
No, this is that one. What's the one that's got the little hex on the front of it?
Like the SDS thing?
I think so. Yeah.
Like the rotary hammer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Then you've got the bag is not included in this, by the way.
What?
Yeah.
The
Then you've got
outrage.
Hell.
angle grinder,
Angle grinder. That's got to be the world's worst angle grinder.
the big one, a miter saw, a
Oh.
full-on miter saw.
Okay. I'm going to take a stab at the price.
I
10
have
inch
pulled
or
up-
12 inch miter saw?
I'm trying to get to the details.
Is it a slider?
It's
Wheel
it's like it's
driver.
definitely a 7.5 inch or something.
Circular saw, multi-saw, brad nailer. It's a angle grinder, orbital sander. Where are you?
7.5 inch miter saw is offensive.
Miter saw, up to 900 cuts per charge, and a 4 1/4 inch cross cut capacity.
Oh, so yeah, that's gotta be a 7.5
Yeah.
inch miter saw. Okay. I'm gonna go with $4.99.
$4.99.
I have it pulled. I have the Canadian price here in front of
Oh,
me,
okay.
so I feel like I should not.
Okay.
Cheating.
not yeah.
$7.99.
Seven
That's
ninety
what we got
nine.
it at. Special buy right now. $7.99.
How many batteries do you get? You get. You don't get that many batteries. 2, I think. 3, maybe.
2,
3.
3
Yeah,
batteries.
Yeah.
And 2 tool bags.
2 tool bags.
Yeah, I think because the miter saw is going to fill one.
Yeah, true. Okay, so I'm looking at this toolkit. The jigsaw's junk. It's junk. Angle grinder, maybe the angle grinder's okay. That reciprocating saw is junk.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what's actually useful in this kit.
I mean, if you're a homeowner and you're just doing some DIY around the house, construction 2x4s and stuff like that, this could get your job done. It's not going to look pretty, but you're going to get it done.
Who's using an impact wrench?
I know that's kind of
yeah.
That's like a 1/2-inch chuck or maybe a 3/8 chuck. That's for like car automotive stuff.
Yeah, I guess if you were, I used one to get the nut off of my lawnmower, to get the blade off my lawnmower.
Right.
To hit hard.
Ooh, I'm looking at the 6-piece toolkit, and it's got like, it's not an angle grinder, but it's same type of blade, but it's 3 inches, and it's kind of, what do they call this thing? Is this a cutoff tool? Yeah, it's a cutoff tool.
Oh,
is that like
I got
what people use to trim like hardy board and stuff like that?
I think so, yeah. But it's got like a metal cutting blade on it. Oh, and you get a right angle drill. This is a weird little toolkit. Kind of dig it though. See, this toolkit. This is the Ryobi 6-piece one. It's the 1+ HP brushless series. So I think this is actually all kind of Ryobi's high-end tools. in one kit. That I could dig. Why does DeWalt do that?
Well, because DeWalt has 95 different circular saws.
I know,
and levels to everything. You've got
right.
XP or the XD and
the Atomic.
Atomic, and then standard.
It's nuts. There's all kinds of stuff out there, but yeah. So where did you land? Are you going to end up getting all DeWalt, or are you going to get up all Craftsman? What are you going to do?
Nah, I priced it out to get all the stuff I want. Because then I was like, I started researching. And the second you start researching, you're like, well, obviously I have to have the best version of everything.
Right.
And it really quickly became like a $2,000 exercise in order to just have all my batteries matched. And I was like, okay, that's not worth it. This is crazy.
Right. So, but you have all like the Craftsman, like lawn care stuff, right?
Exactly. And that's kind of why I wanted to switch over, because the DeWalt stuff is better, and then all my batteries could match. And it was Craftsman. Because what they do with Craftsman is they don't want it to cannibalize too many sales from DeWalt. Yeah. So if you want a really high power leaf blower, you got to go DeWalt. Craftsman tops out at like a much lower level than.
Sure.
Yeah. So.
It's tough.
I know.
I mean, really I've got multiple brands. I've got DeWalt, I got Festool, I got Milwaukee. Like, I feel like it's so hard to have just one brand.
Oh, it is. Yeah, you kind of have to be a psycho in order to do it.
And then you have
like $2,000.
Right. And then I have the Milwaukee 18 volt and the 12 volt. And then I have the Festool 18 volt and the 12 volt. It's like, dear God.
Yeah.
If I just replace my drills, I'd be all DeWalt. Like, really. Like, the
really?
only thing I've got that's not DeWalt is my drills.
Really?
And that's just because I got rigids.
Sure.
Whenever my Ryobi got stolen. And
if I was just one tool away, I would for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, this Father's Day or Memorial Day or whatever the hell is coming up. They're going to be running some deals. Just, pick drills up.
The thing is like I started to go down that road, and then it was like Zach said, I started looking at the drills that DeWalt the DeWalt has, and I'm like, I can't make what? There's too many of them. There's too many options, and I can't pick one.
It's insane, and their website is no help. They have numbers, but the numbers don't correspond to anything. Like the highest number is definitely not the best.
Yeah.
Tool.
TCXJ9 or the PX1219.
Yeah.
Right. What's better? No one knows.
Nobody knows.
Even the people at
power stack battery? Well, I don't know.
I know, right?
It's infuriating. Yeah. Absolutely infuriating.
So I'm just like, I'm going to run mine until it dies. Once it dies, then I'll replace it.
That's generally the best policy. It really is. But it sucks. I like things to be nice and organized. Like I'm very anal about like in my house, all the cutlery has to match. I can't have mismatched cutlery and stuff like that. So I was like, I want all my tools to fit my weird OCD dream here.
We just discovered that we're missing like half the forks out of our silverware drawer. They've just been lost to time. Like we think like, we'll get like a Chinese takeout or something like that, and we'll grab like a metal fork instead of using the plastic ones. and they end up getting thrown out over time. And so,
Is it real silverware? Maybe your kids
Yeah.
are wanting them.
Oh, I don't think so. But so we're like, okay, so we got to go through and replace all of it because you can't just add some forks to the mix. They got to all
that's
match.
insane. Yeah, that's
So
insane.
we got to go through the whole thing.
Huh. Maybe they're with the socks too.
Probably.
Yeah, the missing
Yeah, you do just kind of burn. I think you're right. I think it's like the takeout containers that you throw out, and it's got a, between the lid and the bottom is sandwiched. You have a fork or something.
Yeah.
Who knows? Hey, Josh asked a question. He said, what's in the festival box behind me?
Oh,
one of them, no, this one over my left shoulder. I've now gotten to the point where when I get stuff in the mail, I keep all the packing, like paper and like bubble wrap and stuff like that. Because then when I send stuff out, it's free. Right?
Oh, true.
So this, how do I do this? This one here is filled with just packaging material. And then this one is extra batteries that they sent.
That's cool. That's a bunch of batteries, maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Judging by the size of that box.
It's a lot. They're like 8 extra batteries and then two dual chargers.
Hell yeah.
But I don't need any more. So like, I think I'm going to see if someone locally has.
Well, okay, so
and just give it to them.
Here's what you do now is you either sell or give away the tools that you have the doubles of, right?
Yeah.
Like if you have let's say a DeWalt impact gun and you just got a new Festool one. Festool one's probably better, so just sell off the DeWalt one and give it away.
Same. No, these are just batteries.
Right.
Literally just batteries. So like, I don't need any more. I got plenty. At some point, like honestly, once you have like 6, 8 batteries, you don't need any more.
That's true. You can be like me,
like those 1 amp ones.
That's what I was gonna say. I have dozens of the like 1.5 amp hour ones, and I avoid using those things like the plague. They mostly just collect dust. I probably got like 4 or 5 of the big batteries, and those are the ones I use all the time.
What's your go-to battery size? Like how many amp hours? What would you be like? Okay, this is the Goldilocks.
I think 5 amp hour. 5 or 6.
I was going to say about 5.
Yeah. Anything below that, and I don't think it has enough juice to power the tool.
Unless it's the cordless sander, and then I like the small one just for the weight balance.
Okay.
Oh,
that makes sense.
Okay.
That makes sense.
That's fair. But then, like, I've got some Milwaukee batteries that are 12 amp hours.
Yeah.
Dude, it's like carrying like a 30-pound dumbbell around with
sure. But you do get a sense of satisfaction. It's like, I'm definitely getting the most out of this tool right now. It is performing at peak. The battery is not holding me back whatsoever.
Or you're just absolutely hammering something, you're building a deck and you're putting in 1,000 screws or whatever. And you check the battery level and you're like, oh, it's still full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's good stuff.
The DeWalt, like 6 to the 12. I have some 12s and I have some 6s. And the 12s are maybe 20% bigger.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Like, they're denser. They're a little heavier.
Yeah. There's also a 15 amp hour. Is that the biggest one?
Is there any way to get those big capacity batteries without just buying them standalone?
Well, I got mine with my lawnmower.
Okay. Besides the lawnmower,
sometimes the lawn tools will come with the biggest batteries possible.
Yeah,
I feel like you're a chump if you go to the store and pay $2.99 for one battery. Like,
dude, sometimes it's cheaper to just buy a new lawnmower that comes with 2 jumbo-sized batteries than it is to buy 2 batteries on their own.
I saw they had Lowe's had the DeWalt radio on the clearance rack for like $80.
Yeah,
and it comes with a battery and a charger. And I was like, that right there, I mean, that's like the cost of the battery and charger. And you get like a little dinky radio with it. But
there was... Sorry, go ahead, Eric.
No, you go.
I was going to say there was a DeWalt 60-volt leaf blower that was like $150, but it came with one of their big 60-volt batteries.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
How many tools do you think these tool companies sell that they think, man, people are eating up this DeWalt job site radio? When in reality, people are only buying it because it's the cheapest way to get that battery.
Right. Yeah, that's a great question. I wonder. I mean, there's definitely deal shoppers out there who do that. But they're no matter how they price it, they're still making money.
You're still getting raked over the coals, right?
Yeah.
It's obnoxious, but well, should we head over to the after show, get to the bonus show? I know, Zach, you had a grievance you needed to air. You're annoyed with someone.
Oh, yeah. God damn. Yeah. We'll talk about that.
On the after show. So everybody, we're going to head over to patreon.com/offthecut-podcast and start recording the after show, the bonus show, whatever. And that's where you can send in your questions and in the live stream.
Yeah.
When we get live feedback and stuff, we really dive into that over in the after show. So if you want to join us with that, just sign up for Patreon. And if not, we'll see you next week.
See you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Spicy.
I want to give a huge shout out to our returning top tier patrons: Corey Duvall at Woodcrafts and Honey, Josh at Sawdust Bills, Joe Welsh at Delaware Valley Workshop, Goblin Spanker,
You can't say that anymore.
Building Creative.
Bingo bango, you're done.
Zach, to be honest with you, I don't even know if I follow you.
You should stop.